Good evening. Welcome to the St. Louis College of Pharmacy White Coat Ceremony for the class of 2027. For those of you who are here in person, please silence your phones. My name is Dr. Terry Warholak, and it's my privilege to serve as the Dean of the St. Louis College of Pharmacy at UHSP. I'm so thrilled to be here with you tonight. For each of our new student pharmacists who are entering the professional program, today is a big day. I'm so pleased that we can celebrate this special occasion with parents, spouses, siblings, and others who have special relationships to these rising professionals. Also, a warm welcome goes out to the members of the UHSP Board of Trustees, UHSP President David D. Allen, and the university leadership team, as well as faculty, administrators, and staff who are here today to support the class of 2027. Tonight, 65 student pharmacists will receive their white coats, which mark their formal entrance into our Doctor of Pharmacy program. Supported by dedicated faculty with whom the UHSP College of Arts and Sciences, or from a different institution, each of you has built a solid scientific foundation, which is critical as an asset as you begin your professional journey. Tonight, we celebrate the beginning of that extraordinary journey as members of a nationwide cohort of student pharmacists who are entering the Doctor of Pharmacy program at schools across the country. You are assuming the obligations and responsibilities of professionalism, service, lifelong learning, and scholarship. During this ceremony, you will be asked to commit yourself to this new role. But this is not just a ceremony. It's also a celebration. Woo! It's an opportunity for faculty, staff, family, and friends to share in your excitement and celebrate with you and cheer you on as you make this transition and enter the next chapter of your lives. I know that some of you may have family members who are pharmacists or health professionals who inspired you to seek this path. For those who are legacy students in that way, meaning that you have a relative who has graduated from St. Louis College of Pharmacy, please stand and be recognized. We're not done. Students who have had a pharmacist or other health professional who contributed to your journey, please stand. And finally, for those who may be going into new territory as first-generation college students or first-generation healthcare professionals, please stand. Regardless of your background or what has inspired you to seek a pharmacy career path, I believe I can speak for everyone here when I tell you that we are as proud of everything you have accomplished so far, and we look forward to seeing how you're going to grow beyond our imagination over the next 4 years. Research indicates that pharmacists not only improve patient quality of life by preventing and treating diseases, but that they actually save lives on a daily basis. And I can tell you, when I practiced pharmacy, I did this as well. And it's one of the best days of your life when it happens. Pharmacists are, in my estimation, superheroes. Thus, in training to become a pharmacist, you are in fact in training to become a superhero. I would like to now invite Dr. Tricia Berry, Assistant Dean for Student Academic Affairs at St. Louis College of Pharmacy, to introduce this year's keynote speaker.
Good evening. Each year, we invite a distinguished pharmacist colleague to speak at our white coat ceremony. We are thrilled tonight to have Dr. Harold Carter joining us. We are proud to share that Dr. Carter is a graduate of this institution, receiving his Doctor of Pharmacy degree in 2011. Currently, he serves as Senior Vice President of Pharma Trade Relations at Express Scripts and is a member of our UHSP Alumni Council. Since joining Express Scripts in 2011, Dr. Carter has held a variety of leadership positions, including roles in utilization management, Express Scripts value-based solutions, wholesale marketing and account management, and pharma contracting. In addition, Dr. Carter serves on several boards throughout the area, LifeWise STL, Innovation and Value Initiatives, and St. Louis University High School. We appreciate that he's also a very active alum. He serves on our UHSP Alumni Council, as I mentioned, and has also been an active member of the St. Louis College of Pharmacy Honor Code Committee. It's a genuine honor to have Dr. Carter speaking to us tonight, sharing his experiences and special words of advice to the class of 2027. Please welcome Dr. Carter.
All right, thank you so much. So everyone looks either excited or ready to hopefully celebrate later today or something of that nature. So I won't use all your time, but really excited to be here. As mentioned before, Harold Carter graduated 2011. That just seems like yesterday, but I was doing the math yesterday to think about when my white coat ceremony. It was 2007, so I assume many of you were in elementary school. So that makes me feel a little bit old, and I think probably some folks in the audience, including some of the teachers that I used to have. But, so just kidding. So a little bit about myself. So I have two beautiful kiddos, so a 6-year-old and 8-year-old, and my wonderful wife. She actually graduated from the school as well. So same year and all that good stuff, works for Express Scripts. You know, as you're coming in now, as we're sitting here with your white coat ceremony, this is a great time as you're entering into a professionalism that is really it really is a small community. It's amazing the folks that you run into, that you went to college with, that you worked with, things of that nature everywhere you go within the pharmacy space. And there's so many different sort of opportunities that represent itself, whether that's community pharmacy, whether that's hospital, whether that's managed care, et cetera. And so I want to use just this time to sort of go through what my journey was, not just through the college, but also after graduation, some of the experiences that I had, but also giving you guys some words of wisdom, as I like to say, as you start continuing through your journey. So first and foremost, you know, I was introduced to pharmacy. So none of my family were pharmacists in the healthcare career. My dad was an engineer. My mother was in HR. But one summer, my dad wanted me to get a job. And he went to the local pharmacy, and it was a gentleman, Tyrese Thomas. He was actually a graduate himself, and he hired me. I was absolutely awful. So worked for Walgreens, I was awful. I didn't have good work ethic, right? I wasn't always showing up on time. I was messing around when we were at the pharmacy, and he took me under his wing and really sort of ripped me into shape. Had really high standards for me, would not let me get away with anything, and that ethic that Tyrese taught me early in my career at Walgreens through the 7 years I was there has stuck with me until this day. When I was actually around the similar age as you all, we had one of the career fairs, and I was kind of walking through and noticed this company called Express Scripts, and I said, that's interesting, let me learn about them. They gave me some information and really said, hey, we have our home delivery pharmacy, and we have what's called a PBM, a pharmacy benefit manager. I said, oh, this is interesting. So I ended up doing a summer internship with them. I did it what was called in patient consultation, where it's literally just patients calling in and pharmacists asking any questions that they have. A pretty intimidating situation when it's really just cold calls, and they did it amazingly. Loved it so much, I actually did a second summer at Express Scripts, and I worked in what was called product development. So some folks that are actually on the board, gentleman Brian Size within his team, and got to spend the entire year thinking about, entire summer working on how do we get patients adherent to their medications for the 80 million Americans that the organization served, and then also looking at other just different product development tools and things of that nature. So as I was going through pharmacy school, I never thought that I would ever sort of be in the situation that, or have the opportunities that I did going through that time. So I always assumed, listen, I loved working in community setting. I would certainly stay at Walgreens for all those years. But then when we started going on rotation, my dad told me, hey, why don't you, instead of just picking rotations that you want to make it easy, why don't you mix it up a little bit? So I had some really interesting ones. So there was one rotation, it's kind of funny, it was at the St. Louis County Jail. And that was the most interesting rotation that I've ever had in my career. I also spent one, and this is actually was not funny at the time, but funny now looking back. Actually did a rotation at Humana in Louisville. And if any of those that you remember, many years ago, there was a summer where there was really bad bed bug outbreaks. And so I went down and I stayed at this long-term sort of hotel. Wasn't the best, and I was at working at my rotation site, and I had all these like little pricks on me. So I went to the urgent care, and they said, you've had bed bugs. So they had to exterminate all my stuff. It was this whole thing. Tricia was actually responsible for rotations and had to help me figure out if I was going to have to come back from Louisville. It was this whole thing. And so just significant and great opportunities, some great, some bad, but it was a great experience on rotations. And outside of the whole bed bug issue, I got to get a lot of experiences through different parts of pharmacy landscape, whether that was hospital setting, whether that was managed care, whether that was specialty pharmacy, whether that was primary care, et cetera. And while not all of those were for me, there were a lot of things that I was able to sort of take out of each of those different experiences that you're able to sort of move forward in your career with. So after I graduated, did a few things. I was contemplating doing a residency in managed care. And at the last minute, I was about to enter sort of the selection process, et cetera. And Brian Size, working at Express Scripts, I reached out to him and he said, hey, listen, don't go into residency. We can hire, I think I can find something once you graduate, and then you can get your professional experience at Express Scripts, and then once you're right, we'll sort of put you in a few different roles and get experiences. And the rest is history. So through my time with the organization, I've been able to do a tremendous amount of things that I never thought a pharmacist would ever be able to do. I started obviously in product development, managing our tools and formularies and things of that nature. Then we closed on one of our competitors. So I was able to go through actual integration process and figure out how we build our organization back after that. We became the largest pharmacy benefit manager in the country. And then I was able to sort of go on and get some different experiences around working in procurement. So as all of you guys know, any of you that work in pharmacies, right, you have to buy drugs. So I was responsible for helping procure some of the products for some of our large pharmacies. Then I went on to do pharma contracting. So a lot of times we have a team within our organization that focuses on negotiating with manufacturers for rebates and discounts and things of that nature to lower the price for our plan sponsors. So really sitting in front of executives from a large organization and negotiating with them is a great experience. One of the things that I always, it was interesting going through those processes, one of the things that people oftentimes forget is pharmacists are some of the best folks in those negotiations, because you're sitting next to someone that is talking about the clinical data of their drug and the value prop of it. And you can look at their clinical trials and be like, nah, that's not true, or ask certain questions to really sort of navigate through it. So it was a really sort of good experience on really sort of grounding myself in that experience. Next, I went on to account management, so I was responsible for leading a team that actually focused on working with our plan sponsors to hire us to sort of help manage their benefits. And again, that's everything from their clinical tools, DUR that we're putting under their benefit, what are their co-pays going to be, what are they going to cover under their benefits, how are they going to set their premiums, all of those different things. And then now have responsibility for running a team of about sort of 200 people. And we have responsibility for a large percentage of the P&L for our company. So I own about, have responsibility for about $40 billion of drug spend within our organization. And today we sort of support about 40% of the US. And so as I look through and I go back to the days when I started school, these are things that I would have never sort of thought that I would ever do. And the one thing that I took out of all of those things was sort of first and foremost is be open to change. As you go through this experience where you started pharmacy school versus where you end it, the world has evolved quite a bit. And there's going to be so many opportunities for you to sort of get different experiences. Be open to them because you never know where an opportunity lies. And that's the beauty of not only when you do some of your rotations throughout your didactic experience, but also in your last year when you go out on rotations. The second thing is find your passion, right? So many times, I mean, if you want to raise your hand, let me know. How many of you have student debt or will have student debt? All right, I did too. So, you know, it was one of the things that I learned coming out of school, and it was a different world when I graduated, but the key was, hey, when you graduate, you don't have to go buy crazy stuff, pay down your debt. So my wife and I both had debt, and we were able to pay that down in about 4 or 5 years after we graduated, and we didn't have a small amount of debt. But even with that in mind, find something that you really enjoy. You're going to be working for 30, 40 years after you graduate. And while that seems like a long time, it goes by fast. And for all that time, it's really important to find out something that you enjoy, something that you have passion for, and the money will come. When I graduated and was at Walgreens and moved to Express Scripts, I took about a $30,000 pay cut, which everyone thought I was crazy for, things of that nature. But it was something that I really wanted to get a different experience for. I found a lot of interest in, and I was really able to really succeed in the organization. And I can tell you that I've more than many times made up for that salary going backwards, and have been sort of put in a really good position from there. The next thing I would say is network, network, network. It is such a small sort of, like I mentioned before, it's such a small community, and it's amazing how many people that you run into that give you an opportunity. And so I'll give you all a few great examples of that. So my first boss, my first summer at Express Scripts, my second summer at Express Scripts, and the person that ended up hiring me were all grads of the school. My current boss, his name's Adam Kotzner. He's a grad as well, and a lot of the leaders within my organization are graduates of the school and are pharmacists. And it's amazing how, as you make those connections and get those and keep in touch, how you're able to sort of get opportunities and things of that nature, particularly as we start seeing that jobs are competitive, right? The market's swinging a little bit different, but there's always going to be still a lot of opportunities that represent itself when you have a relationship or you're continuing to network through your entire college time, through your summer, and then preparing yourself to go on rotations and graduate and move on. The next thing that I would tell you is understand financials. So, you know, when we graduated from pharmacy school, one, I had to get a financial advisor to help me, but two, when I went into corporate America, it's amazing how much they expect you to understand financials. So find a friend, learn it. Some of those classes that you go, I remember at the end for us that last year of didactic experience, we had a few financial classes to learn about things. Some of us didn't really put a lot of effort into it, but you'd be amazed at how much stuff you learn from there that's important, right? Financials are not just for the folks that are in accounting and finance. It offers such an important insight into you to continue to grow your career. And that's true whether you work at a hospital, it's true whether you work at community setting or managed care. The last thing I would really kind of give you guys some thoughts on to sort of contemplate is last but not least is thinking about, as you enter the market, what are different places within the pharmacy space to exist? So how many of you all, and just raise your hand, knew what a PBM was? Not many? Okay, that's fine. So today, like great example, in St. Louis, right, we actually have hundreds of pharmacists that are on staff in many different roles across our organization. We used to be actually one of the largest employers in the US. We started letting people actually work from home, so everyone started moving across the country to much better weather. But there's significant opportunity for you to do that. The other thing that I would tell you too is travel. So one of the things that my job has afforded me, and I would definitely recommend you, is to sort of see different parts of the world. I've had the opportunity to go to Iceland and to Switzerland for work. Went to Puerto Rico. It was great until I got E. coli and didn't realize until I got back. That's a horrible experience. Good way to lose weight, but not necessarily that settling for 48 hours. But again, there's so many different opportunities that sort of represent themselves for you guys to really think about as you graduate and as you move through this. And then last but not least, enjoy yourself. I remember sometimes folks just took themselves too seriously as they went through school. The tests are going to be stressful, right? Some of your practicums are going to be stressful, but remember that there's always a purpose and an end in sight. The staff here, the faculty, they're preparing you for the real world because there are no summer breaks. You have to take accountability for everything that you do, and you're going to have to stand by your decisions. And that's why it's extremely important for you guys to maintain a code of ethics. As you go through your career, whether professionally or personally, you're going to sort of be pushed towards certain limits. And it's so important as you take your oath of professionalism, as you think about that you have a higher code of ethics that you stand by all things that you do. Because as you may not realize that, but once you cross that line, it's never easy to sort of go back. So always think about the end in mind. Always think about how you're going to be putting patients first and how you're making those clinical decisions that make the most sense. And then also bringing that back to educate the future pharmacists that are coming behind you, as well as serving the communities that you all exist into. Because that's really the core of pharmacy, the communities that we serve and making better. So again, congratulations to you all. I'm so happy for you all. This is a great time, particularly as you start going into the professional part, getting yourselves to sort of to that final run of graduation and then taking your boards, after all those years and getting ready for graduation. But don't get ahead of yourself. Enjoy this time. Enjoy the experience. Enjoy what's in front of you. And, if you certainly ever have questions, always reach out to alumni. We're there with the helping hand and always willing to support you all. So thanks for the time, and enjoy the rest of the ceremony. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Carter, for those inspiring comments. Students, if you're following along in the program, you know that some important parts are about to come. It's almost time for you to stand together and recite the Pledge of Professionalism, and then after that, you will get your white coats. As you put on your white coats, I hope that you will reflect on the professional responsibility that the coat symbolizes. As student pharmacists, you're an important member of the pharmacy profession. Over the next 4 years, you're going to learn more about medications, health conditions, and the healthcare system than you can imagine. You'll experience tremendous personal and professional growth, and you'll develop your professional identity, how to think, act, and feel as a pharmacist. Pharmacists, as you know, are highly skilled experts who can be entrusted to make decisions and take actions that benefit those they serve rather than themselves. You'll be expected to pursue excellence, to further your skills and proficiency as the medication expert on the healthcare team. And you will need to care for, as well as care about, your patients. From the first exam you take this year, which I think you've already taken at least one or two, to the final year of the program where you're making recommendations directly to patients and other health professionals, you'll be expected to conduct yourself as caring and competent professionals, developing the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors to carry out your responsibilities as a pharmacist. This means exhibiting empathy, establishing relationships with patients and other members of the healthcare team, demonstrating honesty, integrity, humility, and ultimately making a difference for your patients, your team members, and the profession. I can't wait to see what you all are going to do as student pharmacists and throughout your career. Before you receive your white coat, as I said, you'll recite the Pledge of Professionalism, which is printed in the program. Each of you will also sign the pledge poster in front of the stage. As you recite and sign the pledge, you will finalize your commitment to the journey of being a student pharmacist and demonstrate your commitment to the responsibilities of the pharmacy profession. It's my pleasure to ask Chloe Macon, the current Vice President of the Class of 2027, to come to the stage and lead you through the pledge. Again, you can find it on the back page of your program. It's here and then.
All right, thank you. Class of 2027, please rise and recite the pledge along with me. St. Louis College of Pharmacy at University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy in St. Louis. As a student at St. Louis College of Pharmacy at UHSP, I understand that I need to build and reinforce a professional identity founded on integrity, ethical behavior, and honor. This development, a vital process of my education, will help ensure that I am true to the professional relationship I established between myself and society as I become a member of the pharmacy community. Integrity will be an essential part of my everyday life, and it is incumbent upon me to pursue all academic and professional endeavors with honesty and a strong commitment to service. To accomplish this goal of professional development as a student at St. Louis College of Pharmacy at UHSP, I will accept the responsibility for my education and become an independent or active learner rather than a dependent or passive learner. I understand that to become educated to optimally provide pharmaceutical care, I must know what questions to ask and where the answers to these questions can be found. Develop a sense of loyalty and duty to the profession by contributing to the well-being of others and by enthusiastically accepting the responsibility and accountability for membership in the profession. Foster professional competence through lifelong learning. I will strive for high ideals, teamwork, and unity within the profession in order to provide optimal patient care. Support my colleagues by actively encouraging personal commitment of the Oath of Pharmacists and the Code of Ethics for a Pharmacist as set forth by the profession. Dedicate my life and practice to excellence. This will require an ongoing reassessment of my personal and professional values. Maintain the highest ideals and professional attributes to ensure and facilitate the covenantal relationship required of a pharmacist. The profession of pharmacy is one that demands adherence to the set of ethical principles. These high ideals are necessary to ensure the quality of care extended to patients I serve. As a student of pharmacy, I believe this does not start with graduation. Rather, it begins with my membership in this professional college community. Therefore, I will strive to uphold this pledge as I advance towards full membership in the profession. I voluntarily make this pledge of professionalism.
You may be seated. Thank you, Chloe, for leading the recitation of the pledge and for your leadership amongst your classmates. Remember when I said that pharmacists are superheroes who save lives? Well, let's think about how that connects to the pledge of professionalism. In the pledge, you said that you would have a commitment to the oath of a pharmacist. The oath includes the following statement: I will consider the welfare of humanity and the relief of human suffering my primary concerns. This guides everything pharmacists do, and I encourage you, a superhero in training, to think of your white coat as a superhero cape. When you put it on every day, I encourage you to repeat to yourself, pharmacists save lives. I will consider the welfare of humanity and the relief of human suffering my primary concerns. And live your professional life letting this mantra guide you. Now, it's time to receive your white coats, which have been generously donated to you by alumni and friends of the St. Louis College of Pharmacy. In alphabetical order, one at a time, each of you will be invited to come to the stage. Here to assist you into your white coats are College of Pharmacy faculty and preceptors who have been selected by students and peers from their outstanding contributions. So this time we have two faculty, Dr. Anastasia Armbruster, who is the recipient of the 2023 Haberly Outstanding Educator Award, and Dr. Yasmina Profirovic, recipient of the Missouri Pharmacy Association Faculty Member of the Year Award. Your names will be read by Dr. Gloria Price, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs at the St. Louis College of Pharmacy. Will the first group of students please rise so we can begin?
Zara Ali. Aba Anne Marie Emotu. Aniston Andres. Josie Barrand. Yusuf Badair. Brock Brines. Mary Kate Bordenkircher. Patrick Branca. Hannah Brenton. Emily Coleman. Jamie Kreitz. Sophie Eastham. Alexis Ebbing. Kyle Ebmeyer. Sierra Erkey. Nicholas Fiacco. Ainsley Fortschneider. Samantha Gearing. Anne Glisson. Caleb Haas. Ayman Haji. Matthew Harrington. Alexander Hodge. Kyle Hogan. Sarah Hornsey. William Irby. Yevgenia Kolodiazhna. Sophia Lemire. Melissa Lichtenberger. Amber Liu. Vanessa Luan. Chloe Macon. Holly Malarick. Danielle Markham. Avery McCullough. Alexandra McWhorter. Iram Muhyiddin. Anne Wynn. Priscilla Ogbevoin. Evidence Ohihuai. Eldina Omerovich. Gerald Osakwe. Kennedy Parker. Morgan Paviza. Jeevan Raj. Peyton Reinbott. Libby Reinick. Devaney Gonzalez Salas. Hans Daniel Salcedo. Adira Sambath Kumar. Ruth Samuel. Valeria Santana. Elizabeth Marie Santiago Tacoronte. Clark Sasek. Sydney Smith. Haley Thedford. Lauren Toma. Zane Tola. Catherine Tricky. Michaela Oy. Zoe Venable. Asia Vigil. Haley Voss. Gage Wilson. Carly Young.
Okay. Doesn't success look good on them? So class, now that you have recited the pledge and received your white coats, you are officially student pharmacists. Woo! Student pharmacists, colleagues, it's my pleasure to lead you through one more part of this white coat ceremony. Your white coats have been sponsored tonight by the alumni and friends of the St. Louis College of Pharmacy. The Missouri Pharmacy Association, who's very special to us, and Walgreens, also very special to us, are two of those sponsors and friends. We are fortunate to have Jordan Milham from Walgreens, who is also an alumni of the St. Louis College of Pharmacy. Here from Walgreens. And here with us from the Missouri Pharmacy Association is another special alumni of the College of Pharmacy, and that is Jerry Callahan. Jerry, if you would stand up. Jerry is the immediate past president of the Missouri Pharmacists Association and also a member of our Board of Trustees here at UHSP. We appreciate the support for these student pharmacists and for this ceremony, and for the years to come as these students progress through the program and their careers. Students, I should note that it's important that all professionals belong to and be active in a state pharmacy association, such as the Missouri Pharmacists Association or the Illinois Pharmacists Association. Professional pharmacy associations work to expand your scope of practice so that you can help more patients. And really, it's all about the patients. I also thank all alumni and friends who've helped to support this evening's celebration. Class of 2027, when you complete your education, you will join this tremendous network of superhero pharmacy professionals who save lives every day. The sponsors of tonight's program have been where you are. And through their kindness and generosity, they are supporting you as you take this important step. You will find a special note from your sponsor inside your coat pocket. I hope you find their words to be of inspiration to you over the next 4 years. You will be provided with a postcard addressed to your sponsor during a co-curricular event soon. Please take a moment to reflect on the gift you received today and send your sponsor a heartfelt note of thanks. Our entire community takes great pride in your accomplishments, and we are so pleased to welcome you as a member of our profession. Class of 2027, I hope you will wear your white coats with a sense of deep pride and professionalism as a superhero in training. We look forward to working with you over the next 4 years as you pursue your professional goals and dreams. Thank you for making this an unforgettable event. I'd like to thank everyone who participated in today's ceremony, particularly our keynote speaker, Dr. Harold Carter. I also want to thank all the friends, family, faculty, and staff who attended today's ceremony and helped us prepare for it. As we end, we're not ready yet, but I ask that you allow our white coat recipients to leave the gym first. You can meet your students outside in the quad afterward for a reception and some refreshments. Students, remember to, I don't think they put them there, I was gonna say pick up your gift bag at the table near the entrance to ARB. We wish you a safe journey tonight and for the rest of 2023 and your future careers. Congratulations. We can have somebody do that. Hang on for a second. I'm looking for one of the like.
We were to Houston.
I don't know if I saw you at Lakewood Airport one time.
We got on the same plane.
Yeah, it was something. I was trying. It was an early morning flight. I was going to a finalist meeting.
Here, have a camera. Do a selfie.
We can sorority squad.
I would not be doing that. But you guys knock yourself out.
Okay, do we want to be in front of Congrats 2027 or in front of College of Pharmacy?
That makes logical sense.